What is up, Hawk fans? I hope all is well. This morning, it's literally Saturday morning. I finally have time to do more nuanced videos like this. But I wanted to discuss Brendan Sullivan's first start for the Iowa Hawkeyes. So, as somebody who makes content related to Iowa sports, talking about Iowa sports, I can always see when interest and passion dies down for either basketball or football, and like literally I can see it in real time. And for football, I would say since probably Iowa lost Ohio State's since Ohio State lost to Ohio State, but definitely when they lost to Michigan State, interest almost immediately went away for Iowa football. And it's understandable. It really is. I mean, it's hard for it, even for me, to see any positive that can be seen, especially given the preseason expectations that so many of us had for the Iowa Hawkeyes. And I totally understand that. But I'm going to give you guys two reasons why we should have at least a sliver of optimism moving forward. One of them is Brendan Sullivan. Flat out, point blank. The second one, of course, is, even though Iowa is not going to make the expanded college football playoff, as many of us believe they were more than capable, more than talented to do, and I still believe that, by the way. I still believe that. I don't, am I willing to put all of this on Cade McNamara for Iowa's lack of production? No, I'm not. Because the reality is Iowa's defense got tore up against Michigan State as well. But I do think that had Brendan Sullivan been the quarterback, they would have had a better performance against Ohio State, and I also think that they would have beat Iowa State. So that is what that is. So Iowa, while we can't make the college football playoff, we can possibly, still have a solid season by comparative standards. Will it be, another classic Iowa season? Perhaps. To me, if Iowa can finish this year strong and somehow find a way to win 9 wins, this season won't be a total loss. It's going to be difficult, and this is going to be the first major test on top of the game against Nebraska. And I don't think Iowa's trip across the country to UCLA is going to be an easy one. I'm thinking about going to that game, by the way. But it's still possible. But the main reason wrapped up in all of that is Brendan Sullivan. Brendan Sullivan is the main point, because at this juncture, I personally, and I think a lot of Iowa fans are as well, want to see. They're just looking for anything other than the prototypical average to below average pocket passing quarterback that we have seen Iowa have for the last 5 to 6 years. I wouldn't put Nate Stanley in that category, but I would certainly put Spencer Petras in that category, although he seems to be doing moderately okay at Utah State. So that is the main thing, guys. We need to see what Brendan Sullivan is capable of, and it is exciting to see what Iowa can be with a quarterback that can do other things off script, outside of the normal scheme, the normal play calling, and see if he can propel. And that's why in all my videos I put Brendan Sullivan, can he propel Iowa forward? That is what I'm looking for. And this game against Wisconsin is going to be a great first test to see where he really is at and whether we truly have something in him. This is going to be a great test for that. Wisconsin, I would say that they are an above average football team, so this is going to be a great test. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I get it. I fully understand that a lot of Iowa fans at this point are neutral when it comes to how much they're paying attention and how much interest they're showing towards the Iowa Hawkeyes. They kind of have this apathetic approach at this point, and it's fully understandable. But I do think that we should have both eyes open towards this new Brendan Sullivan era. I'm excited to see. I really am excited to see what Iowa can look like with him under center, because I am so tired of seeing the same old average to below average pocket passing quarterback that Iowa has had for the last three really. Spencer Petras, and then when he went down, the other guy, I'm blanking on his name, the big guy, the linebacker playing quarterback, and then Cade McNamara. I am not against pocket passing quarterbacks. The thing is, though, if you are purely a pocket passing quarterback, you need to be an above average quarterback to be successful in the Big Ten. You need to be good, at the bare minimum above average, at passing the football if you cannot run around and generate any sort of electricity with your legs. I can't believe I'm blanking on the other guy's name. So anyways, guys, there's not really much more to say on it. Bottom line is, the reason to be excited is Brendan Sullivan. And yes, I will admit that if Brendan Sullivan really shines and Iowa really is propelled forward and does finish this strongly, it will kind of be a slap in the face, because especially for me, as someone who advocated for Brendan Sullivan to be the starting quarterback going back to the beginning of the season. And it will be kind of one of those situations where it's like, man, what could have been? What could Iowa have been with Brendan Sullivan as the starting quarterback? With all this talent, and in essence, it'll almost feel like a wasted season that Iowa was not able to get this right. Now, in previous seasons, Iowa has been able to get away with struggling at the quarterback position because they've been so stellar elsewhere. They've been good this year elsewhere, but they haven't been as elite as they have been in the past. They've been good, but they haven't been always great and or elite. And I'm talking about the defense and special teams success. I mean, the special teams has given up touchdowns. There's Drew Stevens did miss a field goal in a huge situation, I believe against Ohio State. He's had a pretty good year, and Reese Dakin has had a really, really solid freshman year. To put it comparatively, I think he's doing as good, if not better, than his predecessor Torrey Taylor. By the way, the quarterback I was talking about was Deacon Hill. I can't believe I was forgetting his name. But so it will be a lightweight slap in the face if he is able to propel Iowa forward. But the bottom line is, what's done is done. And at the very least, it'll give optimism for next year and excitement for next year. But, for me, the biggest... The hardest thing for me to come to terms with this year is that Iowa finally has a once-in-a-generation running back type season. Who knows if Caleb Johnson is going to end up being that long-term. But for a season, because Sean Green had a really good year too, and he got to the NFL and was mediocre, I'd say. And Iowa has not had more success. Can you imagine if Iowa had Caleb Johnson last year, or if Caleb Johnson had the year that he had last year, if Iowa's offensive line had the success that they're having this year last year? That's probably the biggest thing to come to terms with. So anyways, I don't want to keep this super long. That I just wanted to give a slight positive outlook on this. I know it's tough, but if Iowa can win this game I against Wisconsin, things will be looking up in certain ways, and I'm really going to be watching Brendan Sullivan to see how he does in week one, or not week one, in his first start as an Iowa Hawkeyes. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to smash that subscribe button, like, comment. You guys know the drill. Last but not least, D-Bap. Don't be a pussy willow on facts or feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. I love you, Hawk fans. Hang in there. See you guys next time. Peace.